Ever find yourself stuck in that checkout line? You know, someone's arguing about a coupon or something, and you think, man, I could run this place better.
Mm,
Well, it turns out we might not be giving those supermarket managers enough credit.
right.
It's way more than just like keeping the shelves stocked. This is a deep dive into what supermarket management really takes, and we're going way beyond those basic job descriptions.
Yeah, those career guides, they only scratch the surface.
Right. Like I skimmed a few, even dug into some AI insights for this one.
Oh, interesting.
And trust me, running a supermarket is a surprisingly complex job.
What's interesting to me is that, like, when we're rushing through the aisles, grabbing our groceries, we kind of miss the bigger picture of what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's a huge operation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this perfectly orchestrated system. Every department, every little thing has to work together.
Totally. So forget just like, picturing bored employees rearranging cans of beans all day.
Right.
Because the actual skills needed to be a supermarket manager. Way more intense than I ever thought.
Yeah.
You need serious organization, sure. But these guides, especially this one from RoleCatcher, really break down the specifics.
It's that combination of, like, business skills and people skills that I think is so crucial. And that really surprised me when I was looking into this.
Oh, totally.
You need that head for numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inventory forecasting, sales analysis.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the guides said something like almost 2/3 of the job is administration and management knowledge.
Wow.
But then on top of that, you're talking nearly 60% of the job is leadership and communication.
Yeah.
So it's this balance.
So it's like you need to know how many jars of peanut butter to order, but then you also need to like manage the people who are stocking them, helping customers find the right kind, maybe even breaking up a fight over the last crunchy jar.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah.
I was reading this anecdote earlier from a supermarket manager. He was talking about how a delivery truck broke down once, completely threw off their whole fresh produce schedule for the day.
Oh, no.
Right. And he had to think on his feet, negotiate with other stores to get surplus produce, all while keeping his own staff motivated despite the added pressure.
Talk about a test of your, like, quick thinking skills
Exactly.
and your people skills.
It's not just checking things off a to-do list. It's about strategy, adapting to chaos, and leading a team through it all.
And that's what I love about these deep dives. We really get into those details you wouldn't expect, like conflict resolution. Super important for supermarket managers, apparently.
Right, because you're dealing with so many different personalities,
Yeah.
so many different situations. It's constant problem solving. And, thinking about it from the perspective of, let's say, you're applying for one of these roles, knowing that those soft skills are almost as important as the business skills, that's huge. It can help you tailor your resume, highlight those moments where you really had to think on your feet or smooth things over with a difficult person.
It's like this whole hidden layer to the job hunt.
Yeah.
Because anyone can talk logistics, right?
Right.
But it's those stories of how you handled a frustrated customer or how you navigated a team disagreement. That's what really shows what you're capable of.
Exactly. And I think that's something that we often forget, but it's so important.
It makes you realize there's so much more to being a supermarket manager than just that name tag.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's be real. Every job has its perks and its downsides, right?
Right.
So what about supermarket management? What's the good, the bad, and the grocery aisle?
Right. Well, the career guides I looked at did a good job of showing both sides.
Oh, good.
Like, they highlight the decision-making power, which sounds pretty appealing, right? But then they don't shy away from the realities, like the long, sometimes unpredictable hours.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, dealing with those, shall we say, difficult customers?
Okay, but seriously, how much power do these managers actually have? Like, can they just decide to have a flash sale on a whim? Or is it more like, hold on, let me call corporate and ask if we can move the orange juice display 3 inches to the left?
Right. And that's where, reading those firsthand account from managers is so helpful.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a better sense of what it's really like. I was reading one story, a manager was talking about how she notes all this bread from a local bakery, going stale towards the end of the day. And she took the initiative, made a deal with the bakery, bought their leftover loaves at a discount, and created this whole, like, day-old bread section.
Sure.
Reduced waste and boosted sales,
Yeah.
Maybe a small win, but it shows how they can make decisions, impact things on a daily basis.
So maybe not total, like CEO level power.
But definitely room to be creative,
problem solve and actually see your ideas come to life, which is cool.
It is. And that ties into what a lot of people in this field find rewarding, that sense of ownership.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just a cog in a machine, you know. You're
Yeah,
making a real difference.
totally.
But, and I think this is important to remember, it's not always easy. Remember that conditions section we talked about? It's demanding. Long hours, high pressure situations.
Yeah.
You're managing staff. You're dealing with customers, sometimes at the same time.
Yeah.
It takes a toll.
Definitely. One guide even used the term emotional labor, which I thought was really interesting
Oh, yeah.
because it's not just about resolving conflicts, it's about like maintaining this positive, helpful attitude even when, I don't know, someone just spilled a gallon of milk in the middle of the rush.
Exactly.
Stress management, like level 1000.
And I think that's something really important for anyone considering this career to think about. Like, honestly, do you thrive in that kind of environment?
Yeah.
Where things are fast-paced, constantly changing?
Mm-hmm.
Can you handle the curveballs, the unexpected challenges, while staying calm, while keeping everyone else calm?
Yeah, because if you're freaking out, everyone else is freaking out.
Exactly. It's a big responsibility.
And that makes finding a good work-life balance even harder, right? I mean, if you're working these crazy hours, how do you find time for yourself, for your family, for things you enjoy outside of work?
That's the million-dollar question,
Yeah.
right? And it takes a lot of planning, a lot of setting boundaries, which, we know is easier said than done.
So for those who are up for the challenge, for those who aren't afraid of like a little spilled milk or a runaway shopping cart,
Right.
what's the career trajectory look like for a supermarket manager?
Yeah.
Because looking at these guides, it's not just a dead-end job, you know?
No, not at all. I mean, there's definitely room to grow, but it does take some, some planning, some initiative. Like, you can climb the ladder to become a district manager, overseeing multiple stores, maybe even regional manager.
Wow.
And some people, they even make that jump to corporate.
Really?
Yeah, taking all that experience from the front lines and bringing it to the headquarters.
Wait, so you're telling me someone could go from like stocking the dairy aisle to like sitting in a board meeting?
It's possible. It's not unheard of.
Wow.
I
So
mean-
what does that journey look like? Is it just like years on the job? Or are there like specific skills you need to move up?
It's a mix of both. I mean, experience definitely matters, but you have to be intentional about it. And the guides talk about this. Like, there's a whole section on advancement paths.
Okay.
And it emphasizes, professional development, going to industry conferences, workshops,
Oh, interesting.
even getting those specialized certifications, in things like leadership or inventory management, really honing those specific skills.
So it's like leveling up your supermarket manager skills in real life.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not just waiting for someone to hand you a promotion. You're actively making yourself a more valuable asset.
I like that. And then, of course, we have to talk about the tech side of things.
Right.
Because it's 2024, we can't talk about supermarkets without talking about all the robots and the algorithms and all that.
Exactly. And that's actually something that even these career guides are reflecting now.
Oh, really?
Like, remember those sections on technology advances?
Yeah.
We're talking about those self-checkout kiosks,
Oh, yeah, those things.
online ordering, those scan-as-you-go apps. I mean, it's changing how these supermarkets operate on a fundamental level.
Yeah, it's true. And then you've got like RoleCatcher itself, which is crazy.
I know, right?
AI helping people land management jobs. I mean, we've gone from robots bagging groceries to robots basically prepping you for the interview.
I know. It's amazing. It's like that AI-powered interview practice,
Yeah.
the CV tailoring, even analyzing job descriptions to pick out the skills that are most important. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like having a tech-savvy assistant in your back pocket.
Right. But here's the thing. Even if you're not the one programming the AI,
Right.
understanding how this technology works, how it's used in the hiring process, that gives you an advantage.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Because now you're not just competing against other people, you're competing against their algorithms too, in a way.
So it's not enough to be a spreadsheet whiz who can manage inventory like a pro.
Right?
You got to understand how the algorithms are reading your resume, how online shopping trends are changing what people buy, how to manage a team that includes robots.
Yeah, the future is now.
The future of grocery shopping is now. Well, folks, there you have it. A deep dive into the world of supermarket management. Way more complex than I think either of us realized when we started this, huh?
I know. Who knew? There were so many layers to those perfectly stacked shelves and colorful produce displays.
It's like a whole other world behind those automatic doors. From algorithms to avocados, it seems like supermarket managers really do have their hands full, and it's only going to get more interesting from here. So, next time you're browsing the aisles, think about all the work, the technology, and yes, even the robots that go into making that shopping experience possible. And maybe, just maybe, you'll start seeing those now hiring signs in a whole new light.
Maybe you'll be the one running the show someday.